We explored and really enjoyed Costa Rica, but we had never visited its neighbor Panama before. Since we avoid tourist traps and prefer not to stay in buildings taller than a palm tree, finding the perfect destination can be challenging. People don't often share their favorite spots, much like secret fishing locations they keep to themselves. The lack of information is actually a good sign that we're heading in the right direction. After extensive research, we decided to explore the Azuero Peninsula, specifically the western coastline, known as the Azuero Sunset Coast. We discovered that it's a beautiful area with stunning landscapes, lush mountains, deserted beaches, and abundant wildlife. This sparsely populated region is famous for its pristine nature and has a growing expat community around Torio. The best way to get there is to fly to Rio Hato Airport, rent a car, and drive about 3.5 hours. We booked our flight with Air Transat and took off from Toronto just after 6 a.m. 5.5 hours later, we landed at the small Scarlett Martinez International Airport, named after a 20-year-old pilot who tragically died in an air crash in 2020. Once a U.S. Army airbase, the airfield was constructed by the United States in 1942, then rebuilt and reopened in 2013 to boost tourism along the Pacific beaches. The airport is small, with very basic amenities. There are no restaurants, gift shops, or duty-free stores, only a few vending machines. When we arrived, we walked to customs and immigration and waited in line for 40 minutes to be fingerprinted and photographed. Our luggage was also put through an X-ray machine. We had never been fingerprinted before, and it was an unwelcome surprise. I wish we had known about this before booking our trip to Panama. Over 300,000 migrants crossed the Darien Gap into Panama in 2024, and I highly doubt that Panamanian authorities photographed and fingerprinted all of them, or any of them. Budget Rent a Car is located right next to the arrival exit. After some quick paperwork and a thorough inspection of the car, we were on our way to our first stop in Panama, Playa Blanca, where we rented a small condo for just one night to rest before driving to our final destination the next day. Playa Blanca is just a short drive from the airport, super convenient if you're renting a condo or staying at one of the nearby resorts. We stayed at a studio in Playa Blanca town center. After a quick drive on Highway 1, about a mile, we took a left, drove another mile, and made another left to reach the security gate. We showed the QR code our host had provided, and after a quick check, the guards waved us through. We drove past a series of villas and apartment-style buildings, and as we passed the enormous saltwater pool, boasting the title of the largest in Central America and the Caribbean, we finally found a parking spot. We took the elevator up to our room. The room was clean, though it had a strong artificial scent of cleaning supplies, and it included all the necessary amenities you'd expect. Nothing fancy, just the basics. The bedding sheets were freshly washed, but still damp, with some sand left over from previous visitors. We dropped off our bags and decided to check out the beach, which was only about a 10-minute walk from the building. That's when we started to feel like outsiders in this high-energy, tourist-packed spot. The place was buzzing with cars, tourist buses coming and going, and loud music blasting everywhere. It was everything we usually try to avoid when booking a vacation. We knew it would be busy, but it was even more chaotic than we'd imagined. As we stepped onto the dark sand, we were hit by a mix of loud music, the smell of gasoline and horse manure. ATVs were zipping around at full speed, jet skis were curving in the water, and only a handful of people were actually swimming in the warm water. Normally, we'd spend hours in the ocean, but this time we didn't even bother. Later, we read online that the Ministry of Environment had recently launched an inspection of a tourism project in Playa Blanca, revealing serious environmental violations, including improper wastewater management and contamination. We couldn't wait for the next morning. After a quick breakfast, we left the place and started driving to our final destination. The majority of our drive was on Highway 1, more widely known as the Pan American Highway. This highway spans 14 countries and stretches approximately 19,000 miles, making it the longest road in the world, extending from Alaska all the way to the tip of Argentina. Construction of the highway began in 1941 by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, initially to connect Costa Rica and Panama. The U.S. also funded the construction of the National Highway in Panama, which connected its military bases in the interior of the country. Although it is proudly referred to as a highway, it doesn't quite meet North American standards. There are traffic lights along the route, and you can't drive as fast as you would on American or Canadian highways. The speed limit constantly changes, and you have to monitor your speed carefully. If you're not careful, there's a good chance you'll get a ticket from the police. Motorcycle police with radar guns hide in speed traps, and we passed them multiple times. Locals advised us to install the Waze app, which provides alerts for speed traps, construction sites, accidents, road closures, and other obstacles. It's a very convenient tool when driving on unfamiliar roads in a foreign country. We installed a digital SIM card on our phone and purchased data before arriving in Panama. Having an internet connection and the ability to communicate with our hosts was a huge help during the trip. Driving on Highway 1 isn't much fun. You have to be constantly aware of crazy drivers, large trucks, and vendors on the side of the road selling oranges and other tropical delicacies. Road conditions vary from good to bad, and you could easily hit a large pothole and damage your rental car if you're not careful at all times. Sometimes we drove at 80 kilometers per hour, while other times we had to stop and slow down when passing through small towns and villages. 2 hours later, we stopped at a brand new Max Supercarn supermarket to do some grocery shopping. This place has everything: a butcher, vegetables, and a cafeteria bakery that offers beer, wine, and a great selection of products. The prices were even lower than in Canada. After that, it took us about an hour and a half to get to the place we rented. The rest of the road was on a brand new 2-lane, 102-kilometer highway that opened in 2023. With an investment of over $78.5 million US. This highway connects 60,000 residents from Atalaya, Santiago Sur, Panuga, Mariato, Malena, Torio, Quebro, and Las Flores. The road is much better than Highway 1 and offers beautiful views as it gets close to the shore, and we did not see any police speed traps. We passed Mariato and Torio and took an exit onto a dirt road leading to the ocean shore. The view was breathtaking as we began our descent downhill. 15 minutes later, driving very slowly and carefully, we arrived at our home away from home. Our rental was a guest house located just 40 meters from the beach. Surrounded by tropical forest, the only sounds we could hear were the waves, birds, insects, and unidentified wild animals. We dropped our bags and ran to explore the beach. It wasn't a Caribbean beach with calm blue waters. It was the kind of beach we had seen in Costa Rica, with dark sand and crashing waves. It was absolutely empty, just the way we like it. It was such a contrast to what we had experienced in Playa Blanca. We went to explore nearby rocks and tidal pools, which create excellent natural swimming pools at low tide. In the distance, right in front of our beach, was Cebaco Island, a fascinating place with fewer than 300 locals living there and only one hotel. The island spans 8,000 hectares and is rich in biodiversity, full of secluded beaches. We were fortunate to witness the conservation efforts of the local community, working to save turtle eggs. Every morning, they walk the beach in search of tracks left by the mother turtles as they come ashore at night to lay their eggs. That morning, they discovered tracks they believed belonged to a leatherback turtle, which is a very rare occurrence. Of the 4 species of sea turtles that nest on the Pacific coast of Veraguas, the leatherback and hawksbill are in critical danger of extinction, the green turtle is endangered, and the olive ridley turtle is classified as vulnerable. The eggs were carefully collected by hand, placed into buckets with sand, and relocated to a safe area where the temperature is regularly controlled. Each bucket is labeled and will be moved outside as hatching time approaches. Every nest is protected from predators. The hatching rate is about 90%. If the temperature is 27.7 degrees Celsius, 81.8 degrees Fahrenheit, the hatchlings will be male. If the temperature exceeds 31 degrees Celsius, 89 degrees Fahrenheit, the hatchlings will be female. We helped collect the eggs, but unfortunately due to unusually rainy weather, we didn't get to witness the turtles hatching. They did hatch after we left. Every morning, we watched different bird species. Sometimes howler monkeys would howl in nearby trees, and a family of white-faced capuchin monkeys would pass by. With the first light of day, we would watch a family of tiger herons on the beach. They would gather together to dance and have a chit-chat, and afterward, they would fly off to a different spot to hunt for the day. The herons are monogamous and non-migratory birds. They often wait motionless for suitable prey, such as fish, frogs, or crabs, to come within reach of their long bills. We also saw coyotes and capybaras when they jaywalked across the road. We picked mid-December to travel because we had heard that the rainy season usually ends at the beginning of December. Unfortunately, we got unlucky. 2024 was an unusual year, and it rained every day during our stay. The rain was heavy, not the typical summertime thunderstorms. If you're considering Panama as your new home, ask yourself, can you handle heavy, non-stop rains? This year, the heavy rains hit the tourist areas of Boquete, Bocas del Toro, Chiriquí, and Torio, causing flooding and evacuations. It resulted in millions of dollars in damages and even deaths. We hiked to local area beaches. Due to the rocks, it is not possible to reach adjacent beaches by walking on the sand, and the shortest distance is not always the safest or quickest. We tried to reach Playa Morrillo, but the rocks and ocean made it impassable. You also have to keep in mind that the land adjacent to the beach is private property, and the owner is unlikely to be happy to see you. We managed to hike to Playa Morrillo by taking a dirt road. After walking for 40 minutes, we found a fence between the road and the beach. We kept walking until we found a road that led to the beach with public access. Playa Morrillo is a beautiful beach with strong currents and big waves, not recommended for swimming. It is a surfing hotspot known for the famous Morrillo break. The beach is considered one of Panama's most consistent breaks, regularly hosting international competitions in its year-round warm waters. Waves here can reach up to 15 feet in height. We drove to Playa Oscura to visit the local Agua y Tierra Fundación Turtle Refuge, but unfortunately it was closed due to the holidays. On this beach, the Fundación patrols 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles, of coastline to rescue and protect as many eggs as possible. Sea turtles are endangered due to the illegal and excessive capture of adult specimens, as well as the poaching of their eggs on nesting beaches. Other factors contributing to the increased mortality of sea turtles include ocean pollution, habitat destruction, and the effects of natural phenomena such as red tides. It is an empty beach, peaceful and perfect for nature lovers. Swimming is not recommended due to the strong currents and waves. We found it on the satellite map and decided to walk there through the jungle along a barely visible trail. It was a beautiful small beach, sheltered from the big waves. There were many tidal pools to explore and interesting rocks to discover. You can't drive here, you can only walk. Our host offered to take us kayaking to the mangroves located at the south end of Playa Oscura. After a short drive, we unloaded our kayaks at the public boat launch, and with the incoming high tide helping us move, we started to explore the mangroves. The trick was to enter with the incoming tide and return as the tide shifted to low. We enjoyed the experience, even though we didn't see many birds or animals, possibly due to the late morning or maybe another reason. There are many rice fields in this area, with Panama being the second largest rice producer in Central America. Rice cultivation is water intensive, requiring about 5,000 liters to produce 1 kilogram. It also contributes to water pollution from fertilizers and pesticides, which impact aquatic ecosystems. Rice is Panama's most consumed food and a key source of income for over 3,000 farmers. Located only 20 minutes away from us, there is a local attraction called Cascadas de Torio. We decided to combine a trip to Torio with our shopping trip to the Mariato grocery store. Mariato is 30 minutes away from us and is the only big grocery store around. On the way there, we stopped at a gas station to fill up the car. Groceries were more expensive here, and the selection was limited compared to Max Super. We also stopped at a local fruit stand to buy fruits and vegetables before we started driving back to Torio. Torio is a clean, cozy, quiet, and tranquil coastal village, celebrated for its stunning ocean vistas, lush green landscapes, and serene ambiance. Torio has experienced significant growth in recent years, attracting a diverse community of expatriates and locals. Torio is named after an indigenous person named Toribio, who arrived there from the island of Sebaco, located opposite Torio in the ocean. We drove to Cascadas de Torio, parked our car, and walked along a dirt trail to the waterfalls. Nobody was there, just us. It was nice, cute, and clean. We liked it very much. It took us less than an hour, but we could have easily spent more time there, swinging in the pool of water under the falls. We also visited Torio Beach, a beautiful, quiet, undeveloped spot with very few people. We walked south and found a waterfall and a local woman who was trying to find gold by washing sand with a pan. It was very interesting to see, as confirmation of the local legend that says the Torio River has gold. Another legend told by the oldest members of the town is that the Spanish colonizers came to the community to wash gold. Yet another story is that there was a lot of gold in Torio, and the natives, instead of saying gold, pronounced it Torio. Since 1987, Panama has been granting visas to foreign retirees, making it a popular destination for those seeking a combination of favorable visa options, a lower cost of living, and a welcoming environment for expatriates. Panama boasts a rich history, diverse culture, and stunning tourist attractions. While we only experienced a small portion of the country, even our limited time there helped us realize that Panama offers something for everyone. From all-inclusive resorts to exploring unpopulated, undeveloped jungles, the country caters to different interests and preferences. However, Panama is not without its challenges. It is primarily a destination country for human trafficking and also serves as a transit point for human smuggling. Due to its strategic location connecting North and South America, Panama has historically been a key transit and storage point for a vast majority of drugs traveling from Colombia to the US. Additionally, illegal logging and the trafficking of valuable woods like cocobolo, which is in high demand in the US, Europe, and China, are significant environmental concerns. If you choose to travel or live in Panama, it's important to conduct thorough research and be prepared for both the opportunities and challenges the country may present. Thank you for watching. Please leave your questions and comments below.